iHuntingEquipment.com. All right, welcome back to the show. Speaking of changing your name, what do you think? Do you think the Washington Redskins should change their name?
No.
I don't think so either, man.
Why is it such a debate to change their name? I'm not a Redskin fan, never have been, but my opinion is I think it's so pathetic that they want to change their name. Daniel Snyder goes, quote,
He's not
"The
going to
name
do
was
it.
never a label. It was and continues to be a badge of honor."
He's not going to do it.
No.
You like that article I sent? You hear the rain hitting the roof?
Yep, I hear it, bud.
You hear that? It's pouring out here right now. How crazy is that?
And we're doing a good show.
It's pouring, man. Listen to that. Oh my God, listen to
Why? Here's the thing. Why
Wow.
would the Redskins want to consider changing their name? It just doesn't make sense. I sit there and I read articles and I see an SI or Fox Sports about them changing their name. Jeff, it just doesn't make sense.
He's not going to do it.
No, I don't think he should. If I was owner of the Redskins, I'd say no. We're not changing the name. It's going to stay and remain Washington Redskins.
Yeah, you hear that rain?
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy, huh?
Yeah.
It is pouring like crazy out here.
Myth and Geo, you guys, Geo, I know you're the Giant fan. Here's what Myth says. The only way I can see the Redskins changing their name if they are forced to by the courts.
And they're not going to be. They're not going to be.
I just know, Jeff, that I would be shocked and you would be shocked. And Daniel Snyder's doing what is right. I give him props for him saying that because Redskins, that team name I'm so familiar with. It goes back to the days of
Congress,
the 40s or 30s. They've been around for a long time.
Right. They got some local leaders in Washington and some men of Congress have called for a name change. He ain't going to do it. He owns the team. He can do what the hell he wants with it. He's not going to do it. There's a great article. I'll get ready to put it up on SportsWorldRadio.info for you guys. And when I do, I'll put it on my Facebook page. And I'll put it on Sports World Radio's Facebook page. And if you haven't liked Sports World Radio's Facebook page, head on over to Facebook.com/Sports World Radio and like our page over there. Okay, and then you can stay in touch with what's going on with Sports World Radio. I'll put this article up on SportsWorldRadio.info right after the show. This is a great article, and in the article, he's got a letter. Okay, It says the name was never. Snyder's letter states it was and continues to be a badge of honor. Okay, while there have been groups calling for a name change for decades, a series of events this year has put the Redskins on the defensive like never before. Snyder has hired Lanny Davis, an advisor in the Clinton White House, who specializes in managing political crisis. As an advisor of the matter, the letter released Tuesday shows more sensitivity than the owner's last one on the record. Comment on the topic. When he told USA Today in May, "We'll never change the name. It's that simple. Never. You can use caps."
And that's what I'm saying. I give him props for what he's saying. Here's what Roger Goodell said. He goes, asked directly whether the Washington Redskins should change their name. Roger Goodell said the NFL needs to, quote, make sure we are doing what's right. Well, duh, I agree with you. And I don't understand why this should be an issue. And I'm just so disgusted that the NFL and everybody's getting involved with this. I know if I was a Redskin fan, I would be sick to my stomach. And it just doesn't make sense at all, Jeff, to do this. It just because I've always known them as Redskins. What's the other name that you could come up with to change the Redskins around?
Nothing.
Yeah, I can't think of another name.
Nothing.
It just doesn't make sense.
Nothing.
Because there's the Washington Capitals. That's a hockey team.
They've been the Washington Redskins ever since I can remember. And he's right. He's right. The name was never a label. It's a badge of honor.
Well, here's what Jerry Jones said. Jerry Jones said, quote, I don't have any thoughts on it.
Exactly, and he shouldn't, because he's called the Cowboys. He shouldn't. He should leave it alone. and he's doing the right thing on that finally. But you just got to leave it alone in the way that's it. Come on, it was actually they were originally called the Boston Redskins in the 1930s. Then they moved to Washington.
Yep.
Okay? So blame it on Boston. Don't blame it on Washington. Okay? Don't blame it on Boston. Blame it on Washington. It's a great article. We're going to put it up. I'll put it up on SportsWorldRadio.info right after the show is over. Yesterday,
I got some.
also,
go
ahead. Go ahead.
Jeff, I got some other topics for you about
Hold
this.
on.
And the second half of the show, I figured that we could make this NFL news because this is pretty big stuff. How about this? The 2018 Super Bowl. This is amazing. Could be headed back to a recent host city or to one that hasn't staged the name in more than 2 decades.
It's not going to be here.
New Orleans and Indianapolis, the sites of the past 2 Super Bowls, and Minneapolis are the 3 finalists to host the NFL championship game in 2018.
Let's go to Minneapolis where it frees your ass off.
Minneapolis has not hosted the Super Bowl since January of 1992. That was when Washington played the Buffalo Bills. A $975 million stadium is going to be built in downtown Minneapolis with the projected opening coming in 2016.
Yeah, whatever. Sure, whatever. Hey.
Well, here's what Roger Goodell is getting at. He's kind of like saying, look, we're playing the Super Bowl next year at the new MetLife Stadium, where it's going to be really, really cold. So he's probably saying, let's see if we can put more games out in the cold.
Yeah, I do. I understand that, but I understand that, and that's okay. That's very well and good, but that's freaking years down the road. What I want to know is, do you like the TV show Hard Knocks?
I like Hard Knocks. I've seen parts of it on HBO. It covers every NFL team. They've done the Bengals, they've done the Jets, they do every team.
Kenny C and I talked about this yesterday. Do you know that Hard Knocks has gotten Roger Goodell and the players to agree that show will have a team every single year? If a team does not volunteer, the NFL will appoint a team to be on the show.
The popularity of Hard Knocks.
Let me say it the way it was in the article. The NFL will force a team to do the show.
I agree with it because the popularity of Hard Knocks is important. Then they can kind of figure out how the team play. Yeah.
The NFL is putting in a rule called the Hard Knocks rule. Means if an NFL team doesn't voluntarily do the show, they will force a team to do it. That's stupid and crazy. I'd like to see them try and force Bill Belichick to do it. I really, really would.
Yeah.
But they have certain stipulations. We talked about it yesterday, me and Kenny. They won't do teams that have gone into playoffs, teams with new coaches, blah, 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 blah. Teams have done it already in the last 10 years, blah, blah, blah. So there's basically 5 teams left. If a team does not volunteer, the NFL will force a team to be on Hard Knocks. That is the most stupidest rule I've ever heard the NFL put in.
Well, how about this? You think about Goodell putting in new rules for Hard Knocks. Here's another big topic, Jeff.
That's stupid.
The NFL, starting next year, will play 3 regular season.
Too.
3 games at London's Wembley Stadium next year.
That's stupid, too. I don't care what anybody says.
Hosted by, how about this? A team that wanted to go to London and wanted to try and make it every go there. The Jacksonville Jaguars, Atlanta Falcons, and the Oakland Raiders.
That's ridiculous, man.
Here's what Roger Goodell said about it. He goes, quote, "Our fans in the UK have continued to demonstrate that they love football and want more," said Commissioner Roger Goodell, who has championed overseas games for years and someday believes the NFL will have a franchise based in London. And I do not agree with it at all.
I don't either.
Why would we want to put an NFL team in London? It doesn't make sense. It's America. The NFL has always been in America.
Yeah, well, he's going to say, well, it's the National Football League. Yeah, it's the National Football League. It's not the International Football League.
Or what's he going to call it? The National International Football League or
he's
something?
going to call it the Intergalactical National Football. What the hell's the matter? Goodell, how far is a flight from New York to, where are they having it?
London.
In London. How far is it to fly from New York to London?
Oh, my gosh.
Gotta be like 13, 14, 15 hours, right?
Yeah, and think about the West Coast teams. San Diego, San Francisco, Oakland. They'd have to fly all the way.
Right. You're going to tell a team to fly over there, play the football game, fly back, and get ready for the next week? What are you, crazy?
I'm against it. I will vote against this and hope that there will be no NFL team in London. It just doesn't make sense.
And doesn't it have to be gone through all the owners and the players? Don't the players get the vote? Because the players are the ones who are going to be doing the flying.
I can be honest with you. There's one person who'd be in favor of it on the show. Pink Sheet Boy.
Yeah, that's the only person.
He's a Redskin fan, so he'd be like, well, now I can see the Redskins come over here to London. Watch the Redskins.
Dr. Myth, they used to have a European NFL league. And I don't know if they still do, but they had a European NFL league. I watched many European NFL hockey games. It was called the European NFL League.
Here's some other things. Here's some other notes from Tuesday's meetings. Several owners said the subject of changing the Redskins name was not discussed.
How close do you live to when play that game or stuff like that?
Yeah, how far are you, Myth? They should focus on soccer. Maybe that's kind of their big thing, even though I am not a soccer fan.
Go ahead. We'll keep going.
The NFL also approved $27 million in funding for improvements at FedEx Field. Money will be diverted from Washington's contributions to revenue sharing.
Why don't they freaking take some of that money and help the Chargers build a new damn stadium so they can have the Super Bowl out here every year?
Well, you've been to Qualcomm Stadium. What's your take about? Oh, he's 5 hours minimum.
Oh, he's 5. That thing sucks. You want to know something? Last time I was there, I was there for the Raider-Charger game.
Yep, you went last year, right?
I went last year for the Raider-Charger game, right? Okay? That was freaking... And it rained. And that place don't drain well. And it snowed. It hailed. It was a crazy day out here in San Diego. It rained, it hailed. We got there nice and early. We went out there. It was freaking hailing. We went back outside, hung out underneath until it stopped, and then went back outside, wiped our seats down, and watched the game. But it was crazy, man. It was wet. It was disgusting. There was no drainage. My feet were soaked. It was terrible. I was sitting 3 rows from the field. I had great seats, man. We were at the 40-yard line, sitting 3 rows from the field. The only thing that was blocking me were NFL helmets.
Hey, Jeff, I have an idea about kind of going back to it with London real quickly. Why don't you put up a poll question and ask, does the NFL belong in London?
No.
And we could all see how everybody feels about it. We could all take a vote. You know what my thinking is.
I'll do that. I'll put that on SportsWorldRadio.com right after the show is over.
That was a good idea. I just came up with that. Let's see. The NFL also approved $62.5 million in funding for the Cleveland Browns Stadium. So this is all the stuff that's coming out from the meeting.
So the NFL is fixing freaking other stadiums, but they ain't helping the Chargers build one for them. Sons of bitches.
You can talk with Roger Goodell about that.
He's a jackass. Sons of bitches, man.
He's probably saying, I'm commissioner. Let's help fund the other stadiums except for San Diego.
Unbelievable. Then they said, they made a statement saying, we will never have another Super Bowl in Jack Murphy Stadium or Qualcomm Stadium again until they get a new stadium. Come on, man. You're helping the Browns? You're helping the Browns?
And the Redskins?
And the Redskins with their freaking stadiums, but you won't touch the Chargers.
Here's another thing.
You know what that is? That's East Coast, West Coast bias, you sons of bitches.
Here's another headline. The league also announced an agreement between USA Football and 3 organizations that will endorse the Heads Up Football initiative that already has been approved by more
Heads up.
than 2,800 youth football organizations.
That's so funny when you say